Move over, King of the Hill. One and all, there's a new King of the Hill in town. It's Highwoods. Yes, this is one of the brand new 10 maps coming in Knights of Cross and Rose. First time we're able to cast it here. And a familiar face, we've got Kiliadi in the North playing as Knights Templar, going up against a rank 500 player called 3D Waffle. You may have seen him around the community, playing as House of Lancaster. Now, I know what you guys are already going to say. KP, this is not fair. Why are you casting Kiliadi, like a top 20 player, up against a rank 500? Well, House of Lancaster does actually equal about a 1.5k elo buff, which actually means that Waffle is Kiliadi's daddy, and he needs to learn his manners at the table. Let's see what Kiliadi can do, though. Knights Templar on this map is kind of interesting. They have some very safe options for Sacred Site to gather gold. So, very difficult to deny them. Also, like, I don't know. I think on this map, Highwood doesn't feel great for Knights Templar because the central Sacred Site is too close to maximize gold. Like, there is literally no reason I can think of that you would go for the central over the corner. You maybe get 5 extra gold maximum on the distance. But yes, for those that haven't seen Highwoods, it's an interesting proposition, kind of moshing marshlands together for its claustrophobia of tree lines and Highview a little bit. You've got Stealth Forest scattered around. You've got all these little choke points to go through. I honestly love this idea. I think you could actually remove the Stealth Forest and it would still be a very interesting idea because you have the Duke ability, being able to hide behind all these tree lines to ambush people and also dodge their vision. Speaking of which, how's the vision going on both sides? Looks like they did split the map. Waffle has done pretty well. Kiliadi's sitting at just 9 sheep. Meanwhile, it's going to be 14 for the House of Lancaster. Wait, is he going deer? Oh, no. Okay, Lancaster and Castle. I was a bit worried there. Guys, you don't really benefit as whole from going deer. It's actually, like, it's inefficient play. Unless you want to invest in some other techniques. But, like, even then, just play the sheep. The only upside of going for deer now is obviously it saves your sheep, your safe food, for later. But the reality of this Civ right now, and we're going to see it from 3D Waffles as he's on the stone, you just build manners, so you don't care about the lack of food, because you'll always have food. So, no. To confirm with Knights Templar, you cannot go Venetian in Age 2 or 3. Venetian is an Age 4 choice. Now, you're thinking, of course, the speedy traders. Guys, I've seen those traders. You can only build 5 of them, but oh my god, do they zoom. They're very, very pop efficient. Kiliadi. Oh, we've got another one of these. That's sick. Okay, I think he was he delaying? No, okay, he was just setting up. No, okay, I'm not as excited. I thought we were seeing the delayed tech up choice to allow him to be more efficient. Because the concept, guys, is if you delay going Age 2, you'll have more villagers, so you'll kind of be better off as you prep for Age 2. Because if you rush Age 2 and rush Age 3, Age 4, what you're doing is you're essentially denting your economy at a percentile point where it's bigger. Whereas if you wait another minute, for example, you're going to have surplus villages compared to where you'd be. So what would have previously been like a 10% hit to what your effective, 15% effective hit to what your village count should have been, it'll be more like a 10%. It's an interesting dynamic. It's also one that anyone who's played AoE 2 in particular will be aware of. Age of Empires 2, because they have to tech out of their town center as well, has a very different flow to the early game. You don't see people on the same village. Kiliadi, this is going to be all about the throwing axe man. Against Lancaster Castle? Oh wow, Waffle's even getting the efficient push in here. Stacks them up nicely for a mill play. We already have the stone. And I think this is... Yeah, wait. Why are we building the manners here? Oh, you cheeky son of a gun. I think that's in range. It's not showing up, but it should be in range. Guys, remember, you get an arrow slit and extra health if you are in range of the Lancaster Castle with manners. A big buff, in fact. It increases the health on these things by almost double. It goes from 750 to 1250. I think Kiliadi, is he not rushing pilgrims? No, he's genuinely playing classic Kiliadi. This is all about kill. We've got spearmen, we've got the sergeants, and the archers. A little bit of everything. Honestly, not really sure why you even want spears. So, horsemen get countered by sergeants fairly well. You can't brace them, but the logic is you do melee damage, and you have a lot of melee armor. So if you just are the front line, they can't get past you. In fairness, spearmen can pin, so it's kind of different, and theoretically spearmen will kill quicker. The difference, though, you have to keep in mind is while spearmen have higher damage in their hits, they're melee versus ranged. So the throwing axes should, in theory, get double the strikes in compared to spears. Because like most players at a reasonably high level are not intentionally going to run their horsemen into a spear line, and they're definitely not going to keep them there.
Each bouquet that.
And now we have the toxic manners on the front line. Hey guys, I feel like these buildings aren't good enough. Can we make them drop off locations as... I'm gonna stop. Man, this unit is conceptually very cool. People mentioning Age of Myth. There's another example of Age of Mythology, because this is the first range unit, especially in an early phase of the game, that does pure damage to buildings, because it's melee, it's not range. Most of the time, when you are a ranged attack, it is range classified. So, for example, Donzos that are melee unit, when they toss their javelins, it's actually a ranged attack. It's a very unique unit situation. But what it means is, for example, you can basically dive in and start destroying TCs if you have a lot of these sergeants. Same with any building, really. Like, actually, I'd say sergeants are fairly good against maybe outpost players? I don't know. It's hard to say because at the end of the day, you are paying a pretty price on gold. It's going to be 120 resources for these bad boys. Only 95 HP, and they have 0 ranged armor. So technically, static defense is your worst enemy. Buildings, on the other hand, such as Raxes, stables, archery ranges, could be prime targets for all in sergeant play. Now remember, by the way, guys, both these players did not have early access to this civ. Any of these civs. So they are learning firsthand. You might see some clumsy plays compared to the players who've been playing on the creative preview. That's definitely to be expected. Dive in, nice snipe. Honestly, sometimes I feel like archers grief this idea, because sergeants are much better at sniping villagers with their 10 damage. Well, they're weird. You see it's +1, it's actually not +1. So when you go Antioch, you get 10% increased damage, but you're 9 damage. That means you're 9.9 actually. But the front-facing UI doesn't do float, it just does integers. So it rounds up and down, basically. Do I'm smuggling the rams? Yeah, we tried something like this against Warman on one of our games on the test server. I may have accidentally control group too fast and the deselect didn't come through, and it ruined our plan. But the whole idea is you're basically going to kind of pseudo clown car. It's not as much about moving in and sniping with archers and cheesing your opponent. The real deal here is it stops the villagers from defending at all. Needs to be quick though. We can see Waffles is prioritizing her age rush. White Tower is really smart here. I wonder if Waffle realizes it. If he goes for White Tower, it's not just a strong defense, it's also going to give him immediately 3 Earls Guards. And they are heavily armored melee units, which are capable of defending against Archer Sergeant block. The Sergeants will definitely dent them a little bit, but like, they'll trade very well. Alright, ones if you think Kiliadi's going to win this, twos if you think Waffle is going to be fine. Because I'm kind of digging the Waffles right now. We'll see though. He hasn't started the tech up yet. Rams are going to begin moving in. We do have the clown car underway. I mean, this should be enough to break it. Yeah, he has to back away. Remember, you cannot garrison the Lancaster castle. It's impossible. It's just a single archer vibing. That's 1 man down. Good start. I think Waffles, he needs to be prepping Raxes probably alongside this. Instead, just doesn't seem to be putting that wood to work at all. The Lancaster castle. I honestly think you ignore it. The Lancaster castle is kind of redundant. I mean, it's nice to get rid of these arrow slits, but it's so close to the enemy base, I don't think it matters as much as just getting rid of the economy. We'll see though, like if he's deleting it. In theory, it's good because it removes 4 arrow slits, so you could pull out. But with a White Tower coming, I don't think it's as important. Lancaster castle going down. He's trying. No, this is too late. He tries to muster the nobles. That play would have been sick a lot earlier, actually. That would have given him the kill power onto the Rams. So no mustering to be had here. White Tower is about to complete for Waffle. But now, look at this. This is the knock-on effect. He just lost 500 HP off of all of these manners. Osgard ought to be coming out. Kiliadi needs to start actually getting the troops out here. And there we go. He realizes what's happening. He ungarrisons. Villagers are going to start getting target fired down. In fact, actually, the A-clicks, he goes straight off the Earls Guard. Great for the Axemen. Kind of terrible for the Archers. He'll get back inside the Ram. Yeah, he didn't even kill the Earls Guard. Still alive. This is... I don't think this works. No, he's going to lose the Rams. Kiliadi's all in, fails him, but it doesn't come without reward here. He killed off a decent amount of economy. He forced a lot of auto time. He even killed 3 manas while removing the Lancaster. So without the castle, like, this area is a lot weaker. I think for Waffles, the next goal... Wait, what? Okay, dude. How's the Lancaster players only want one thing and it makes me sick? I was about to say the next play here would probably be to play for Monks. Relics is a really good goal because Kiliadi could be playing Age Up, and that's his goal then. So he'd be denying what he wants. Instead, though, got a range battle between melees. You just see how good the Axemen are when you get enough of them. It's so confusing as well. I don't think Waffles even realized it. He prioritized Undermesh over the melee defense. But your opponent is now heavily into Axemen. And oh my god, again. If at first you don't ram seed, ram again. It's I don't know what else I expected from Kiliadi. Waffles? Wait, is he really going Yeoman? Yeah, and understandably for good reason here. It's awkward though because you need Elgard to defend against the Rams, but the concept is that Yeoman destroy Sergeants. They have no ranged armor. And also, the other issue you run into here is Waffle is like, where are you getting gold? Yeah, like, he actually can't really afford that much gold. So by playing on food and wood instead with Yeoman, that's something you can run long term. When I say long term, I think he's almost out of food in his base. Got 6 sheep left over. Just so many Rams coming in. Oh, Kiliadi, he can't even build them quick enough. It's comical because I've watched Earl's guards with the knife throws disintegrate enemy units. Now it's just ironically happening the other way with axes. And we do also have him thinking about this monastery. Wait, what? After he loses gold access though. Cool idea, wrong timing. He doesn't have actually any gold to get into monks with. Remember, they're 150 gold each. He'd be sacrificing quite a lot of men at arms actually. He'd be able to build 6.5 men at arms with that. Okay, what is the go point for Kiliadi? How many is too many? He also read through what's happening. He's got horsemen on the way. So, like the idea by Waffles, but there is one weakness to building this unit. Can you guys figure out what it is? If I've got all these yeomen, that's great. I can, like, deal with the axemen. But who deals with the rams? Because if they just hide inside the rams, the yeomen do no damage. And it takes 370 shots to kill a ram. That's how many shots you're going to feel like you want to drink when you experience this. Which is quite fitting. In both examples, something dies. Is he legitimately not going to commit with it? No, there we go. He goes in now. He's going to just deal with the Earlsguard. Yeah, that's smart. Kiliadi doesn't want a long fight here because the Yeoman should be able to out-DPS him, but because the Earlsguard are forced to stand here, he can remove the threat. The White Tower, in the meantime, is just getting erased. Kiliadi cleans it up so simply. This is crazy, man. This man's insanity knows no bounds. We had Mirrored in here earlier wondering, like, do you think the Sergeants are good? And I said, situationally. We've even seen games where they work against House of Lancaster, and we're seeing another one of those here. Those axe throws just feel so brutal. The problem is also Waffle's just not backing away, so he's just experiencing a lot more pain. Remember, the Yeoman can outrun and outgun. They have better range, but he's just egg-like standing his ground here. I think the goal is to protect the villagers as they burn down the Rams, but the Rams don't care. That's all the manas, I believe, but one. Yeah, he's got a single mana behind this. So ill-mannered of Kiliadi. How dare he? Only ram pathing. Wait, no. Wait, there's another mana? Get him, boys! Oh, he's griefing himself so hard, though. He might have actually got the kill if he moved this ram down and brought the other one in. If you get... No, dude, what's that pathing? Bro, no. Now, people attempted to type GG, it's over. You look up and realize that Kiliadi is still in feudal age. And he lost the whole army. He doesn't have resources saved up for castle. He's actually in danger. This is a lot of yeomen. If Waffles rushes back onto the gold for double ranged upgrade, I actually think the horsemen just get shredded here. We also have Spearman on the way. Oh no, dude, this is so bad for Kiliadi. Billman. Billman tech goes big. It's only 100 gold and totally worth it for a handful of spears. My god, I think Kiliadi's gonna die. He's also been gathering a lot of stone. I guess the intent was to increase the amount of pilgrims. At this stage, it kind of feels like you want to go 2TC, but where's the food that you're going to be locking in with that? And also the wood doesn't look good. Small group of yeomen are going to get overly ambitious here. But there's the Billman tech. Oi, 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 oi. Wait, is Waffle... Wait, Waffle still doesn't have Steeled Arrow. Oh my god. This feels like a bit of an error. He saw the horseman early. He didn't rush into it. I think he just lost track. I mean, he has a blacksmith. It was one of the few things on the front side that didn't get killed. And now the Lombos look like they get chased and erased. Damn. And Kiliadi behind this is now getting ready for castle. That's crazy. I can't believe that. It felt like Kiliadi should have been dead. Dead. He's vibing, living it up. You have a lot of stone being gathered, so I think the intent here is to always return to additional manners. But Waffle is running out of food. His food income is starting to plummet. He's basically on berries, and then he has to move out the base. And I love this. Kiliadi just exploiting that stealth forest to always keep an eye on. Something that Waffle cannot see. And Kiliadi... No, dude, he's going for the fortress drop. Hey, I noticed that we killed your white tower, and I felt really, really bad about that. I'm so sorry. Let me build you a new defense. Oh my god, it baits him into a fight. I don't think he can win. No, because he still doesn't have range damage increase. Oscar are going to buy him some time. The horseman is going to dive on. This is going to be a fortress in his base. And then the 15% increased range is going to allow his archers to outgun the enemy archers. Well, rather, it's going to put them on equal footing, more or less. Oh my god. This is... is this just BM? Please take his gold. I don't think you can. The TC's too close. That's crazy. He goes to the deer behind him. Because he never touched it. Oh, don't tell me Kiliadi is not entertained to watch. Like, I've been sick of... Like, here's the thing. This man should have been given access. He really should have. Because he would have delivered the Knights Templar content you all wanted. None of this 2TC, boom, go Castle Age, ooh la la crap. Relentless feudal aggression. He's even had opportunities to go Castle Age, and every time he refuses. Oh, what a legend. This is the thing as well. I feel like the way that Kiliadi plays is, you know, some people, they're kind of funny on the mic. Kiliadi is like a dry pan humor comical guy, but also the way he plays the game is so hilarious. It's so freaking funny. I mean, surely at this stage you go Castle Age, right? Right? I think he's going for another fortress. Because, guys, more gold equal more sergeants. Very smart. He already got the citadels as well. Yeah, Desert Citadels is giving the +1/+1 armor. So it's kind of like a mini castle upgrade anyway in terms of damage reduction. It's like Waffles is like, wow, these rams look really good. Kiliadi has just taught me so much about the game. Yeah, but you can't dive to protect them. So the horsemen just get an easy kill. They have 4 ranged armor as well. I mean, worth it if he gets the kill. Yeah, it's not too bad. Losing 2 horsemen is a bit rougher, but if he's basically on average losing 1.5 horsemen for a ram kill, it's worth it. It's a similar cost, but on top of that, like your opponent is idling his whole army to do this. Like this is not a siege workshop, and yeah, he realizes he needs one now. It's just too much out of time. This is gonna be a switch up. Waffle's likely going into trebuchets. While he's going into trebuchets, Kiliadi's going into castle. It's queued up. Kingdom of Castile in the way. Oh, cancel that. Cancel that villager right there. Up. There we go. Always got to remember to do that, guys. It doesn't take prior queue. It will be queued at the end of how many villages you've got in reserve. Oh man, this is rough for Waffles though. That's going to give access to the Genitors, which are a counter to Lombos. Also, I feel like Sergeants scale reasonably well at Castle Point. They go up to, I believe it's 12 base damage, I want to say. And about 120 HP with, I think, 5 melee armor. So that means you have Genitors to answer the Yeoman, and then your Sergeants are tanky enough to stand their ground against Earl's Guard. Pretty worrisome. First Treb did just hit the field. How I just... Both ways at different points, I'm just kind of looking at this game wondering how is it still going. This game feels like it should have been over. Okay, so tech up complete. So he won't be able to utilize Castiel's buff around Sacred Sites. The position doesn't align. But we do have his siege coming in. Oh, this is fucking brilliant. I'd actually just love to see Kiliadi run here. Because the fortress, your opponent can't really directly contest. And you can just kill so much. The issue is all of his archers, I believe, are garrisoned inside here. He doesn't want to take them out because the firepower is just kind of more worth it. Basically does so much damage to rams on approach, stops your opponent from coming close. You paid $12 to add more cheese into the game? Hey, that is still cheaper than getting double feta cheese on your Domino's pizza. That's a pretty good deal. Oh god, boiling oil as well. If Waffles was looking for a dive point, it's gone. Waffles has done a good job of getting relics back, by the way. We don't have Kiliadi looking at that at all. Dude's like, why would I go for relics? This game's going to be over before they pay off. By the way, this was worth 106 again. Honestly, kind of wish Kiliadi would just go over here. Because remember, it spawns every 60 seconds. So you actually gain, you don't lose. There's more risk, but where's the risk? Until this castle drops, Waffles can't do anything to you. Oh no, and it is going to be Jenny's. Onto the tree line. They're not very good at sniping villages. Luckily, although these have short bows, they aren't classified as ranged units. But they can dive easily, and the damage adds up over time. Ambitious there, maybe. I think that was mostly throwing daggers that killed him off. Double Treb. Looks like it's going to be able to bring down the castle. Be nice if you could at least get boiling oil so you can set up another castle behind this. He is sieging onto the primary TC. That's a very big goal. That's a very ambitious goal. Oh, no, that's kind of sick. That is actually... That's very big brain from Waffle. Guys, Ringhold's counter Sergeants super hard. So for a start, like compared to normal men at arms, I mean, Sergeants have less HP, 145 versus 155. The other thing is they are heavy into melee armor, no ranged armor. But they're classified as a melee infantry, which means Springles get their bonus damage against you. That's a really big deal here. The problem is Kiliadi isn't scaling Sergeants anymore. It's a big switch. We've got Templar brothers on the way, and they are going to have rule of Templars for that big initial burst of charging. I'm still not convinced this tech is worth it early on. You gain +2 charge damage per nearby charging heavy cavalry. So let's say you've got 10 of those heavy cav units. That's going to be an extra 20 damage. But as each of them completes their charge, the other's going to lose it. So you're on average not going to get the 20 times 10, which would be 200 extra damage. It'd be more like an extra 100 damage. I'm not convinced mathematically it's that good. Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, no, 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 Kiliadi, no! Oh, my God. What just happened? Dude, Waffles is not human. What was that monstrosity? He forces the delete. Kiliadi purges all. He's raiding the other side, though. He's finding some return punishment, but it does not even come close to the difference between them now. A 25 villager lead for Waffle. And it's better than that, guys. He's added in some manners again, I believe. Yeah, he's back up to 5. Basically having an extra 50 in economy. Oh my god, he's basically double eco. Like, it's not fair though, because obviously we've got like the pilgrims on the other side, so passive income is a bit more balanced, but the raw count is rough. Good pull back there by Kiliadi, find the kills. This is turning into such an epic game, by the way. You stick these two players learning new civs for the first time on a new map, which plays incredibly differently, and this is the promising experience you get. I love this. Even more relics coming for Waffle as well. This boy's getting scary. We do have villagers sneaking. I think this is one thing that's kind of subtly nice about Knights Templar with Pocket Eco. They don't leave proof. They don't leave lumber camps. Technically, they leave proof if you look at the trees, but most people aren't going to glance that compared to a building. Oh, but unfortunately, he's going to get glanced here. Yep, gets found. Waffles. Perfectly positioned with a handful of those Lancastrian yeomen. We're about to get the snipes. Meanwhile, there's going to be a backstab coming from Kiliadi, but irrelevant damage being done. The villager's not moving away. Old man sleeping at the wheel. Someone get him his wake-up coffee. Or thump him in the back of the head with a books. Just something to wake him up. He doesn't realize, so loses most of the villagers. Looks like a select all army coming from Waffles who doesn't finish off all of them. 2 TC now coming in. Kiliadi needs a recovery mechanism. Fast. A lot of miss macro here. Like, you're just overburdened on wood. But that's fine. Like, this can turn from a miss macro into a very convenient farm transition, which he needs anyway. He's down to under 200 food a minute. This map is so crazy. What's even crazier is actually, like, this is probably the most wallable map when you play pocket economies that exist in the game. And yet, there's been practically no walling the entire game. It goes both ways. Good news for Kiliadi, he has such a small eco count, there's not really many loose villages to snipe. Waffles now gives him a taste of his own medicine. It's his turn to ram. White Tower is also back up. This dive a little bit more difficult for Kiliadi. The mana spam is, I believe, complete. No, okay, he's still got 3 more to go. So 6 mana's online. Army's looking to contest. Waffles, why are we so split? Oh, God. This is where you need to kind of retract. He's going to start pulling away. He's still got, like, this wave back here that's just not moving in. Springles would benefit a lot from this fight right now. He's going to have to keep running away. Rams at least do draw some of the aggro. That's really good. And Springles are now moving position. This could be a big wallop. Kiliadi doesn't realize what's at the top of the hill. Good shot from the sink shot. Most of it hitting on the genitals in the end, but still a good trickle of damage. Big flash coming in, and the Springles are going to be the MVP here. Front line gets decimated. And Kiliadi looking like he's about to get wiped. Damn! Talk about a high ground that mattered here. That limited vision just completely skewing Kiliadi. Ooh. He has at least had that flank raid still going, so finds a few additional worker kills, but with Trebs arriving, Rams to follow up, I think we're reaching the undeniable point. Waffle in full control of this game. Kiliadi is going full genital. Yes, there's a lot of yeoman, but there's also a lot of other things too. Genital are terrible against anything but range units. Their base damage is intentionally very low. They basically get triple damage when they're attacking ranged. Relevant comparison. Oh. 100 HP, Lamau. Well, there goes most of the genital wave. Waffles is playing this really well. I love the way he done this. From the bait on the high ground with the sprinkle play into the sink shot there. Really, really impressive plays. Wallow, he's not going to get some extra plays. Wait, did he just delete that? I think he deleted them. Unless they were both low HP, it kind of looked like Kiliadi deleted to the genital. Oh, God. Poor guy. At this point, Kiliadi's not sure what's memory and what's real life. He's getting flashbacks to World War II. He's remembering Nam all over again. In fact, Kiliadi is at this point recalling the War of the Roses. He remembers it like it was yesterday. Big rocks now arriving. I mean, there's just nothing left, guys. I don't know if I want to discredit Waffle's great comeback by saying this is House of Lancaster effect. I mean, you can argue it is. In theory, Kiliadi kind of just had him by the long and curlies. I wonder if looking back, Kiliadi maybe feels like the all-in was a bit too all-in. And it cost him. Oh god, this is... Oh no, I would have stung. Actually, what would have been sick if we used half of them and then kept half of the follow-up shot. Doesn't matter though. Rams are going to be able to lead it. This has been a game of ramming from start to finish. But no doubt about it, just like Release, where English ram spam was a bit too oh damn, even with the expansion, the variant English rams do more. At this point, Kiliadi is just processing it. He's still building more stuff to counter range units. It's all just how do I solve for the range mass. No thought about like what comes next or what else there is. Of which, by the way, there is now 11 Demi Lancers. He just summoned them. Might even actually find him out in gold. Just switched to stone. Oh, this is so unfortunate. I mean, maybe Kiliadi could have got a keep up to sustain himself. Let me know what you thought of this game, guys. This is crazy. Honestly, I kind of dig this map. For those wondering, it's called Highwoods. When I first spawned it and tried it against like bots, kind of testing a build, I was like, this feels very claustrophobic, but I think that's a good thing, the way it feels claustrophobic. There's so many routes and avenues to kind of flank raid with, but also to hide economy in. I think it's a really cool map. Maybe I'd say do away with some of the stealth forest. Also, let me know what you think of this game. Is Kiliadi cooking? Is he onto something here? Could Nice Templar secretly become one of his best aggro civs in the game? There's one thing for sure. This is a man that hates having to hunker down and build town centers. He done everything he could to avoid it, to deny it. He even done everything he could to avoid a tech up. And for a moment, it looked like it might be enough to quash the unbeatable Lancastrians. At this point, I think this civ might require a nerf. At this point, I think it might require that this civ gets slightly Lancastrian. Because they're just too damn good. This might not be the pristine game of showing them as broken. I feel like actually Kiliadi countered the banner play perfectly. And maybe the issue is what his follow-up play was more so than Waffle's. But win's a win, baby. Waffle's not happy with top 500 conk. Now he's gunning for the top 100 spots. Yeah, I imagine someone kind of grimaced or cringed a little bit when they heard Lancaster.